Marianah Lourens met Kuns en Vermaak. Yes, art and entertainment with Marianah Lourens. And I am here in the green room once again at the little theatre inside the Athenaeum. And we are having to contend, I think, with the squeaky gate. Maybe you'll hear it later, but we won't worry about it. I just have two amazing people here with me. They are performers. We'll say performers.
Oh, thank you.
I'll first say hello to you, Kerry. It's Kerry Hiles, all the way from East London.
All the way, and it was a very blustery drive, I have to say.
Is it? Yeah. I can imagine.
But all good, all good.
All
the
good.
car didn't break down, which is wonderful.
And you got here earlier than planned, actually, because we did allow. Right, we allowed time for in case.
Yes,
but I mean,
one always must, because you never know. Coastal Road into, are there going to be roadworks? Aren't there going to be roadworks?
Stop and go.
Stop and go,
yeah.
cows,
Yes.
trucks. Yeah.
Yes, anyway, we're going to talk about what you do. And this is Kozak,
yes.
And I'm sure I've seen you on stage with performances.
You must have.
Because I've gone to see lots of shows with the local musicians.
I'm as common as the brickwork in this building.
Yes.
I've been in PE
and you've got a brother, don't
for many
you?
years. Yes, my brother Brent.
Yeah.
Who's now no longer in PE, but yeah, he was also
I vaguely
actor.
remember.
So if you come from
because
that,
Kozak is not a common name.
not at all, no. But I've been doing for the last maybe 13 years with Centre Stage in PE, so it's my home base here.
Exactly, and of course we go and watch all the Centre Stage shows.
Yes.
Of course we don't miss one. Yeah. But now we are looking to what you're going to do, because you finished in PE before your show, Kerry. It's actually was your baby. The others jumped on later, but your baby about Eva Cassidy, that show.
Yeah, I'm involved with a production company in East London called Capella Productions. It sort of started around 2018, 2019. We took a few shows to Grahamstown Festival and did really well, actually. Most of the shows received Ovation Awards. My Judy Garland show, A Star Was Born, received an ovation in 2019, and then also in 2020 when the National Arts Festival went digital. And a couple of the other shows under that umbrella also received awards. You may have heard of Next, and there was another one called Damsel in Distress. Based on that success, we did a tour in September and October of 2020 to 2021. I've lost a year somewhere. COVID's been long. To the Baxter Theatre in Cape Town, did some children's productions, and then also launched the Eva Cassidy Cabaret under that the Capella Cabaret Fest umbrella. And it's quite different. The other cabarets under the umbrella are very much cabaret shows. You know, they've got these swing numbers in it. You can imagine Judy Garland has got a whole lot of sort of old
we were
style
so
stuff.
blessed to see your Judy Garland.
Yes, thanks. At Art and Target, it was lovely.
Wonderful.
Lovely.
Yeah.
You have beautiful venues in PE.
We
really
do.
Stunning.
We're blessed, and talent.
Well, I'm from East London. I have to argue that.
You
do have talent.
you could come here and you could pick Alan and you could pick Christo. You could pick Claire.
Yes.
And you wouldn't worry because they are just good.
Well,
Yes.
the thing is that there is quite a common thread amongst us all, because I think over the course of time we've all worked together in similar environments, have met each other, done gigs together. So it becomes more like a bigger family circle. So every time Kerry comes to town, she finds herself involved in a different project and then meets more people, and so the family grows. So.
Absolutely. And that was Alan Kozak's voice. So,
Yes.
so Alan, yes, so you are a PE boykie.
I'm a PE boy, and I play guitar furiously every day of my life without fail. Some days reluctantly, depending on how my hands are feeling, but I'm committed to music and have been since I can remember now. Somehow that's the thing with playing music, or at least if you play good music. Once it gets under your skin, you can't stop doing it. So we're all kind of, actually we're addicts, disguised as performers.
Totally. Totally. We can't live without live performances, and now we are, of course, starved because they're not enough. We were so really deprived of live performances.
I like that word, deprived. It does feel like that.
And people have had to really, they've had to cancel shows and stuff like that.
Sure. I think what's really happening is it's like a new beginning since those lockdowns began. everyone tried to shift gears and try to find new ways of connecting with an audience.
Yeah.
And what happened is the people at home were also trying to figure out how do they participate in the whole thing. And it didn't really work out for a lot of people, so they kind of withdrew from entertainment, or at least live entertainment.
Yes, and of course we're paying the price because people are depressed. They are, they get ill because music is therapeutic, not only for the observer but also for the doer.
Look, I think, despite music being a discipline of sorts, it has like high levels of therapeutic value, and everybody knows like any great moment in your life or any personalized experience or time in your life is attached to a certain era of music or a particular experience or a concert or something that you went to. Those are the kind of most memorable experiences in your life.
Ask the granny who was around in the 60s, even the late 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, it never leaves you. The rock and the...
Yeah.
I mean, it never, ever, ever leaves you. And you're continuously looking for it.
Well, Kerry can tell you we've got a friend in Cape Town who's quite a 60s rock
There's the guy.
You were not joking when you said that was a squeaky gate.
It's very squeaky.
Sounds like Hollywood tires.
It does. Anyway, you were saying about...
I was just saying maybe it would be a good time to tell Marianah about John Lee, our friend in Cape Town.
Yes. John Lee is the ultimate fan and is quite a legend. And any of the musicians that have done sort of barnyard circuits, or not so much center stage, but more barnyard, some of the other shows will testify that John Lee, I mean, he's an institution on his own. He's just incredible. And Alan had never met him, but had actually heard about him. And then we ended up staying there while we were in Cape Town for the tour.
Yeah.
And he's like, is this the John Lee? I was like, yes,
I've already heard about John Lee
so
before.
What is his...
well, the thing with him is he's like a child of the 60s, like you were saying. And he's been to... since Woodstock, there have been a couple of how would you say, commemorative events that are similar to Woodstock. So they try to sort of reinvent the enthusiasm of Woodstock without the sort of drastic hippie element. So modern versions of Woodstock. Now, he's been to 3 of them, as far as I know.
Of course.
All the way from South Africa, went on his own, committed to supporting Woodstock, or at least the recreation of it.
That.
Yeah, and so if you stay at his house, you realize this guy's passionate about rock music. Janis Joplin, Deep Purple, he's got all these collectible items in his house. He's a total devotee almost.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, all of them, the whole menagerie of greats. John Lee, he'll tell you anything you need to know about them. So it's quite fun if you're a musician, you stay with someone like that who's got that level of enthusiasm about music, because you feel like you're a part of something. Or that what you're doing is meaningful.
What I have missed is what I can do now is I can go online and on my phone I can get these rock music. They're there. I can get all of it. I can get the Beatles and I can get Cliff Richard and I can get Elvis Presley.
But does it hit you like a live show?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But what I'm saying is the music, that what you spoke about, that it stays with you.
Yes.
It stays with you. Because when we were growing up, there was no TV. There was no social media. So we had to actually listen to the radio. And we did not remember sitting in my dad's car and just listening, to LM radio. It was just like, I mean, it was the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah, you were listening to the prototypes for modern music.
Yes, and talking about Woodstock, if they could just reinvent a Woodstock where there are no incidents, because there were no violence.
Yes.
There was maybe the worst thing they did. They smoked a bit of weed. That was like the worst thing they did.
I think.
Try do that today. Try something like that today.
The thing is that our society evolves so quickly that I think today people are almost struggling to keep up with it. Whereas then, I think music had the kind of value in that it was really the medium to communicate with everybody. Now there's so many different forms of communication that you can get your information or your ideas from so many different sources. You don't necessarily have to go to music, but I think young people then, they only had music. music was the language that,
We had our vinyls.
Yeah, well, exactly. So, I mean, like you say, well, you didn't have TV yet. You had radio, thankfully, but then it was very selective. Yeah, and radio had music, which was the universal language that young people could communicate with.
Because, TV only came when I already had my kids.
Yeah.
They were teenagers when we got TV.
I do remember us first getting our first colour TV. I mean, I might be giving away too much here. But
it's a big thing because you had 2 hours of TV a day.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Incredible.
Amazing. But listen, let's get back to Eva Cassidy, because you had such a success with her songs and a little bit of her history, because you talked about doing it again.
Yeah.
Maybe.
As a follow-up for the Judy Garland show, Amanda Botma, the producer and director, and I were like, what can we do that's a little bit more accessible? That's, it's grand plans. But because we realized in hindsight that she's really not that accessible because no one knows who she is. But she had a story, and that is that she got melanoma. She died at the age of 33 of skin cancer, which along her journey was actually highly treatable and is highly treatable if you catch it in time. And they did catch it in time. But as her career took off and she ran out of time to attend to the melanoma grew. And just as she was reaching some kind of peak, she died. And then she died in relative obscurity. But 25 years later, she sold 10 million copies and she's got #1 hits. And it's such a push-pull. She refused to be boxed into any kind of commercial radio success or recording success. She was true to what spoke to her, what music spoke to her. And it's only now, 25 years after her death, that people are going, oh, actually, maybe she had it right all along.
And the covers that she did sing, I didn't actually know then. But now I know because of you. I actually found Eva Cassidy. I didn't know about her either.
And beautiful
Why
voice.
didn't I know about her,
Yeah.
But this is what's so beautiful, because of what you are doing now. You are actually reintroducing us.
Well,
even us oldies, but especially the younger people. Now, even Alan,
he's so young. He didn't know any of this stuff.
It's interesting that you say that, because actually...
For you and for me, Eva Cassidy is exciting.
Well, Eva Cassidy is new to me too. What instantly happens there is, like, the hallmark of any good artist is their taste, right? And although Eva Cassidy wasn't a writer, she had very good taste in her song selection. The choice of music that she performed. It was always very appropriate. Not kind of reaching too far out of her comfort zone, knowing what her limitations were, and just doing it, nailing it, doing the song so well that, for example, like a tune like Fields of Gold, which is quite a fairly modern tune, that Sting tune, he himself outright said her version's better than his, which is quite a testament to your ability.
I mean, everybody knows that song.
Yes.
But she brings it alive.
Yes.
It's beautiful. And
there's
all
a
her
beautiful
other songs,
ache.
Yes, whatever I could listen to, I was blown away. I was totally blown away. But listen, do you do some bass as well?
No, actually, you wouldn't believe it, but the bass player is Kerry Hiles.
Do you do the bass?
I do the bass.
Because for me, it's all about the bass.
Oh! And Megan Trainor.
You and Megan Trainor.
Absolutely.
I'm not a flashy bass player, and this music is great because it's so stripped down. Eva Cassidy played guitar and she sang. There was no massive production. She stripped that song down to the absolute core, the essence, what is going to touch people in the song. And I don't think she did that consciously. I think that was just her natural ability.
And she liked it.
That's what she liked. And now playing it with Ellen. Ellen is a great guitarist. I like his style.
It's not all about the bass.
You can't see me, but I'm smiling.
and just trying to find the right notes to support that, because it is actually, in the context of Eva Cassidy, I think it's about the voice and the guitar. The other stuff is secondary. So where do you place the bass notes that they're not getting in the way of that magic, that they're just supporting that magic?
I mean, to be fair, anyone who plays bass and sings knows it's the equivalent of rubbing your tummy and patting your head. So So it's a very difficult thing to do,
You're
to
so right.
synchronize at the same time when you're singing. Not like the guitar, which is somehow connected rhythmically to like sort of all the
flows.
obvious downbeats.
Because you got the melody and you
I think that the guitar was
flows.
designed as an accompanying instrument for singing. I might be wrong there, but I don't know
You're right.
the total history of the guitar. But if you think about it, the voice and the acoustic guitar are very well connected. But the voice and the bass guitar somehow don't have that same relationship. Maybe because they separated register-wise into different octaves that are far
Listen, now
removed.
people will have to just keep their eyes open and watch the space for when you come back again with Eva Cassidy, because I heard it was so amazing. But I also want to quickly hear, because I've just found out we've got like 5 minutes left and the time has just flown.
Okay.
I want to find out from you, how did it begin for you?
For me?
Yeah, the music thing and the guitar. You don't wake up when you're three years old and say, I want to play the guitar.
I started as a choir boy, kind of.
I always hear this. I cannot tell you every
I was in the
male
choir
person,
at school.
especially that I ask, they all, either their grandmothers pulled them into the church choir, or it's the school choir.
Yeah, against my will, they dragged me in there kicking and screaming. And then, as I was leaving school, I kind of realized, well, I enjoy music. Like, it definitely moves me, and it's something that makes me feel good every time after I've done it. So naturally, I needed a way to continue doing that, and I didn't see myself interested in theatre or being a part of a large choir or trying to take that seriously. So naturally, guitar came in there and was like we were saying, the perfect thing for someone who wants to sing.
Yes.
Well, playing the guitar is quite handy. It's
and
portable.
And you sing as well.
Yes, yeah. No, not so much in this show.
But what I mean is you can do vocals.
I can do that.
And,
he's got albums and everything. He's quite a prolific writer.
Going forward.
Going forward, I'm like everybody else. Since the lockdown experience and all of that, we're all kind of opening ourselves up to new adventures. So whatever tickles my fancy, musically, and whoever, depending on who's involved, I'm game for anything. If the music's good and the personnel are nice people to work with, that's a no-brainer for me.
And of course, Christo Zondag is going to be with you guys. And is he going to bring his whole drum set, or is he going to do the cajon?
Christo, as everybody knows, Christo is very entertaining to watch.
The cajon. You know about the cajon. What is he going to do?
No, he's playing full drum set.
He's playing full drum set.
So we've got electric
guitars. You know about
guitars.
the cajon?
Yes,
Do you?
I do.
Kerry?
Do you know about the kazoo? That's what I want to know.
Oh, no. Kerry's kazoo.
No, but I mean, that's what Christo does when he can't take the whole drum set. He just takes this box.
Yes.
And I just always thought it was a box,
It's not a very attractive looking instrument, but
what comes...
But it sings.
But what he brings out of it is quite amazing.
Well, I think that's the root. That's the root of percussion. Well, at least if you talk about guitars, like if you think of that and a flamenco guitar, you got this sort of complementing rhythmical instrument. So for a percussionist, that's the ideal thing.
Perfect.
Something you can just sit on and bang on. But he's not going to be playing it, unfortunately, not in this show.
No,
this is like blues, jazz, folk music.
Yeah.
So we've got electric bass, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, a lot of that, and then full drum set, and then Kerry's amazing voice.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, and so Kerry, now
all
to
the
you,
pretty
because
stuff.
now we've probably got half a minute left, but anyway, we will
Fix it in the mix.
We'll fix it in the mix. That's right. Not we, but the techie that showed us that we've got so many minutes left. So where did it begin for you, and then the way forward?
Apparently when I was 3, I went to my mom and said, Mom, I want to go to Hollywood. I haven't quite made it as far as Hollywood, but I'm really bad at maths and typing, so it was kind of music or bust. So music, acting, everything from school, I just got involved with as much as I could. I worked professionally for a couple of years in Joburg as an actress, TV and film.
And I saw you've been in some musicals in East London. Lots of shows.
And then, to kill time in the day, I make cheese. Anyway.
Yes, I know. I actually wrote it down. Singer, bass player, cheesemaker, goat farmer, coffee addict. Of course, we need the coffee. We need our
TikTok,
coffee.
it's coffee time.
TikTok, yes. So, and now forward, the way forward.
So March 2022, I'll be cycling the Cape Town August Cape Town cycle race, sorry. It's not the August anymore. Edit that.
That's in between the goat making and so
Yeah.
cheese making and
But
the goat.
also, we're
keeping
also
the goats
travelling
team.
through the Eastern Cape, through the Western Cape, and ending up in Somerset West as part of a Wela Capella Cabaret Fest tour.
Yes.
We're also really cashing in on the travels. Going to be touring some original music as well. And just getting in the car and going for day. I'm not quite sure how long the tour is. We're still locking down dates. But yeah, getting in the car and going and just taking music along.
And we just keep
and then doing a cycle race and coming back.
I'm just going to say, watch this space because you possibly pop in PE.
Yeah, a couple of reruns. In Kozak. A couple of reruns, a couple of new things, a couple of album launches.
Also, Claire Ben was with you on the Eva venture.
Yes, beautiful,
So
beautiful opening act sets the scene.
I always say the lovely Claire Venn.
We love Claire because she's got that amazing voice and she's just always so dependable, and we just look forward.
We thought Claire and I worked together for quite some time back in the day, and then I always remembered Claire having a real passion for Eva Cassidy. So I thought, what a perfect marriage to bring her in as well and let her, okay, she's doing the warm-up slot, but Claire's by no means a warm-up artist. She's in her own right a great
Absolutely. We know Claire. And so, Claire, we've been skinnering about you, and Christo, we were skinnering about you, and now we have to actually say goodbye. So I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
And watch this space. We're going to talk more in the future. We're going to actually look forward to doing everything good in 2022.
Thanks for helping us keep music going.
Yes, keep it going. Keep the live shows going, guys. And it is now time for Marianah Lourens and Art and Entertainment to say goodbye. Ja, Marianah Lourens wat groet met Kuns en Vermaak. Arrivederci.